Jane, thank you very much, and it's great to be back in Nottingham. I make a rule only to come to Nottingham when I've got some good news rather than the bad news. Good to see you, Paddy, by the way, here. And can I first of all congratulate Nottingham, as I did last time, on the efforts you've made in transport over the years. I think Nottingham has been a very effective delivery of good public transport and an effective delivery of reducing carbon in transport. And you mentioned the least dependent car city. That's a tremendous accolade to have. So it's with that view in mind that I've certainly been very sympathetic to ideas that we should expand what is already a successful and well-run tram system here in Nottingham. And since it opened in 2004, of course, you've had over 10 million passenger journeys being undertaken. And I think people have voted with their feet to use the tram system that's been put in, and therefore it makes good sense, in my view, to expand that further. As a Lib Dem, perhaps, I might say that I'm in favour of light rail systems generally, which is why we've given the go-ahead to extensions to the Manchester Metrolink, to the Midland Metro Line 1, and of course now fully approving this extension scheme here today in Nottingham, releasing funding of up to £371 million towards the maximum cost of £570 million. I actually do believe there's a great future for light rail in Nottingham and also in this country generally. And you may have seen the report, Green Light for Light Rail, which I published for the department towards the end of last year. If we can drive down the costs of light rail, as I think we can do, then we can make light rail more common across the country, and more towns and cities can emulate your example than so far have done. And of course, the better connections which the extension provide will link people with jobs, so will help create growth and cut carbon via this investment here in Nottingham. Linking the NG2 site, the recently announced Lions Boats Enterprise Zone, the region's main hospital, the Queen's Medical Centre, the University of Nottingham, and so on. And of course, I should also say that I'm trying to make sure, as we all are in the coalition government, that we're delivering for Nottingham, because this comes on top of the improvements to the Ring Road, which was announced in December, the £13 million or so for improvements to that, the £70 million for Nottingham Station improvements, which I should be looking at later on my visit today, the A453, which many of you were haranguing me about last time I was up here, where the Chancellor's now allocated £160 million towards that, and that will go ahead subject to statutory processes being completed. And within my own sphere, the £5 million we've allocated through the local sustainable transport fund for your smart card deal. So that's a lot of money for Nottingham, but it's a lot of money because you put together, I think, a good case, because you are a competent local transport authority, and because, as far as trams are concerned, you're an example as to how a project can be successfully delivered. And just as you delivered the first phase, I'm sure you're going to deliver the second phase as well. Thank you very much for inviting me here today, and I'm glad to be the bearer of good news.